Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating. All right, folks, let's quickly take a look at the Bitcoin chart because Bitcoin still continues to hold strong and is still showing strength, I should say, despite the escalation of the Iran war. Right now in the daily chart, the MACD shows the bulls are in control. The MACD is in the green and the RSI is in the neutral zone. So it's not in the oversold zone anymore, but it's also not in the overbought zone. So there's room to run here. And as I've been telling you guys, we could see a rally up to 70,000 or a little bit higher. The question is, will it break through that 200-day moving average or will it get rejected like it did in the last rally up to about $81,000, $82,000? Now, what we are seeing is on the weekly chart, the bullish divergence is forming, which is great. That is something you see at the bottom of the bear markets. And you're also seeing a bearish divergence for USDT stablecoin dominance. So the signals that we want to see are appearing here, guys. Very, very good sign. Now, it doesn't mean the bear market is officially over, but I believe the majority of the downside is complete and we are nearing that bottom if it's not in already. I know some of you are going to say, Tony, well, why can't you say the bottom's in? Because we need further confirmation. Because as I've been highlighting, the nuance of a bullish divergence on the weekly chart is that despite the RSI ascending, the price can still descend. Now, the question is always timing, right? Is this bullish divergence complete where Bitcoin breaks back above that 200-day moving average? There's a saying, and I believe Paul Tudor Jones said it, nothing good happens below the 200-day moving average. And I've often stated when we are definitively above that 200-day moving average, it means we are in a bull market. When we are below it in a downtrend, we are in a bear market, obviously. So the positive signs are there. We just got to be patient and give it time. Could Bitcoin and the market bottom out this month or sometime in August and then start to rally sooner than people expect? Absolutely. Or could the 4-year cycles continue to play out where Bitcoin does another flush down, maybe to the low 50s, but then it's sideways chop and then it rallies later this year? But right now, as mentioned on that daily chart, you still have room to run here. So fingers crossed, Bitcoin can break through that 200-day moving average and then definitively say, hey, the bear market is over. Or it gets rejected from the 200-day moving average, rolls over to the low 50,000s, then finds the bottom. Maybe there's some sideways chop, then it starts running. But nevertheless, guys, the majority of that downside move, the downtrend is over. So that's the good news. It's just continuing to hodl and being patient. And another positive sign is on the monthly chart. The RSI just bounced off of the 40 level. So this is levels it bounced off of in 2022. And in fact, in the previous bull markets, it bounced from a higher level, like around 44. So you're seeing the turn of the corner here, which is very good. And in addition, the MACD shows the bears are losing momentum because right now the bears are in control per the higher time frame of the monthly chart. But the red bars are getting lighter and lighter. So these are things we saw again at the bottom of 2022 in previous bear markets. So all great signs. But again, I can't stress enough, the patience is so important because the market will make you want to give up. It will say, oh, crypto is dead. It's never coming back. If you're getting those thoughts and feelings, it means the bottom is near, guys, right? The market is set up where it wants you to capitulate. It wants you to feel the pressure and the pain, right? They call this zone here like the max pain zone, but that's where it's an amazing opportunity. So I've been telling you guys, I've been accumulating. I'm personally accumulating altcoins. I haven't been really buying any much more Bitcoin. I might add some more, but I've been grabbing up XRP, some ETH, some Canton Network, and others. So I'm turning bullish, guys. And I know some of you are going to think I'm crazy because the price is not reflecting that. But the point is the opportunity. And again, we're going to turn the corner sooner than later. And some other signals that are flashing here is Bitcoin is nearing a power law support line. Fidelity has tracked this since 2015. So you're seeing multiple signals that are flashing bottom is near. So the model is the power law, which plots Bitcoin's entire price history on a logarithmic chart bounded by three curves: an upper resistance line, a middle trend line, and a lower support line that has caught every major bottom since 2015. So this chart was presented by Julian Timmer, Fidelity's director of global macro, and his latest chart shows the support line sits near $58,000, and Bitcoin at about $62,700 is closing in on it. So he also is calling it the accumulation zone. This is what I've been saying for the past month or so, right? We are in the accumulation zone. I don't know if it's the exact bottom, but nevertheless, it's that bottom zone where you can accumulate. So I think, again, we're seeing multiple signals, the data now, not our feelings or emotions, right? Because if you are looking at the price and looking at the downtrend, it's going to make you feel depressed and wanting to give up. But if you're looking at the signals that hint the transition from bear to bull, things are looking really good. Now, we do continue to see a lot of people are buying the dip. Hong Kong public company Boyaa Interactive buys 108 Bitcoin for their treasury. Their total holdings is at 4,201 Bitcoin. So across the globe, you got Bitcoin treasury companies or just general companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet, which is a really great sign. And again, a smart buying opportunity here where smart money is taking positions. And crypto adoption, of course, continues to increase. You have Russia's largest private bank has begun testing crypto trading services. So all the banks, all the stock exchanges, all the major financial institutions are all going to offer crypto in different ways, whether it's stablecoins, crypto investment products like ETFs, crypto investment funds, tokenization, blockchain being integrated into the internal management of funds and data and much more. So multiple layers of adoption happening here. And many of you know, guys, here in the United States, we are at the cusp of getting the Clarity Act passed in the Senate, obviously not guaranteed. And this is going to be a big week because the Senate and Congress are back in session tomorrow. Time is of the essence. It's running out. We have a hard date of August 7th before Congress goes on recess, and they're going on recess on August 10th. So this bill needs to make it out soon, or we will have problems where it's going to be very difficult to move it, especially come later in the year because it's a midterm election year. Not to mention if Democrats take over more seats, which they have been doing, things are not going to move. It might take years before we can get this thing done. And obviously, we do have some headwinds with the ethics issues and the banks fighting back on stablecoin yield. So here we got a report that Senate Democrats are calling for hearings into Trump's ties to crypto amid Clarity Act discussions. So this is not good. They're ready to go after Trump and the meme coins and all that stuff, which I've been banging the drum from the day that thing was launched. Like, that is not good, man. That actually hurts the market. And in fact, outside of the legislation issue, I thought it stole liquidity from the altcoins, right? When Bitcoin passed 100,000, there was a lot of hype, a lot of stuff. People started going towards that coin and Melania's coin versus regular altcoins. So that's not the only issue that stifled the bull market, so to speak, for altcoins, but that was a big one. So 5 Democratic senators have called for committee hearings to investigate the national security implications of President Trump's cryptocurrency holdings as the chamber considers digital asset market structure legislation. In a Friday notice, the Democratic ranking members of 5 U.S. Senate committees and subcommittees asked lawmakers to address President Trump's 2025 financial disclosure, in which he reported earning about $1.4 billion connected to crypto ventures like his meme coin and family's World Liberty financial platform. The lawmakers said that the report's heightened concerns about the president pushing Congress to pass crypto legislation in favor of the very industry he's cashing in on, referring to the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, on which the Senate is expected to vote on this month. Here's a quote: "We call on our respective committees to hold hearings to investigate the national security implications of President Trump's cryptocurrency holdings, including the influence of the United Arab Emirates or unknown third parties on President Trump's actions," said the notice. So essentially, they're saying these governments outside the U.S. bought the meme coin, they invested in things with World Liberty financial, stable coins, and much more. Now, Again, there's a larger ethics issue, which we've been talking about, because this is not only an issue for crypto, it's an issue for stocks, right? Trump and the members of Congress all hold stocks. Not to mention, they probably can be invested in oil and gold in different ways. So there's a larger ethics issue. But again, the president, I think, didn't have all these crypto businesses, and especially the meme coins. That's the one I think that really gets people riled up. I don't think this would have been an issue, but this is the nasty game of politics. And unfortunately, they're going to use it. But I don't know if they're going to be able to find some sort of compromise to get this bill done to meet the Democrats' concerns here. Now, one thing that we saw was that Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a Democrat, out of New York, she put out a recommendation to add a provision that would ban elected officials from having meme coins. Maybe that will be sufficient enough. I don't know. Fingers crossed, guys, that is enough to get these Democrats to say, okay, you know what? This works. Let's get this bill done. But this is where, again, this is a major headwind. And again, because it's an election year, it's going to get nasty. So just be prepared. This is going to be a rough week, and hopefully, when it's all said and done, when the mudslinging is done, that they actually get the bill done. But we're going to have to wait and see, because the banks also are saying, we don't like this bill. Jamie Dimon, right? We saw he cursed out Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, and he said this bill is no good, and he doesn't like the stablecoin yield. He wants to relitigate that. We shall see what happens here. Now, something you all should know about, and this is not so much the politics, but rather the housing bill, which Trump did not want to sign into law, but it did go into law by default, I believe, on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. The important takeaway there is that the anti-CBDC legislation was put into that housing bill. Now, it's a temporary ban on a CBDC in the United States. It just goes to 2029. I tweeted out that, look, this thing is now law. Trump didn't veto the bill. However, the ban sunsets in 2029, which makes me think that Universal Basic Income, UBI, will be started by 2030, and they will use a CBDC to send payments to people. So that's my thoughts on it. I might be wrong, but they left a big door open there, guys. It's just 3 years from now that this ban is going to be lifted, and they can go back to building that CBDC. So we shall see. But just so you know, the anti-CBDC ban has been put into law via that housing bill. Now, some interesting crypto adoption news. This is big. So Hyundai, the huge car maker, has become the first major South Korean company to use stablecoins for internal cross-border transfers, completing a pilot remittance between its US and Mexico units in about 7 minutes. Guys, talk about adoption, right? This is what you want to see. And this is why this technology is so disruptive, so powerful. It's why Jamie Dimon's so angry, right? Because it takes away a lot of the power from these banks and the traditional institutions, which have had a stranglehold on this market. But I've often said disruptive technology always wins, right? First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. And we are seeing crypto adoption, blockchain technology adoption across the globe by many industries. So let me give you some details. Hyundai, the world's third largest car maker by vehicle sales, moved a stablecoin-based cross-border internal remittance system into production headlines on the Avalanche blockchain, becoming the first major South Korean company to do so. So many of you know I hold Avax, the native token of the Avalanche blockchain, in my portfolio. I'm bullish on this project. They're getting a lot of adoption. Obviously, I know price action down just like the rest of the market, but I believe it could do well over time. So here's a quote. Hyundai is the first major enterprise to publicly announce this type of implementation on Avalanche, but the initiative represents more than a technical experiment, said Justin Kim, head of APAC at Ava Labs, which develops and supports the blockchain platform. This is already a real treasury management use case, not a sandbox. The pilot moved live USD and USDT between Hyundai Motors US and Mexico entities. Folks, send this to a crypto skeptic. Maybe they own a Hyundai car, a vehicle, right? Send it to them. Because the car companies, the tech companies, again, every industry is leveraging blockchain in one way or the other, and they will continue to do so because it's what we've been talking about for years. The future capital markets, economies, and governments will all run on blockchain rails. That is where the puck is heading. So This is very bullish and really great for Avalanche, by the way. Huge adoption news here. And Avalanche, one of the benefits of Avalanche is very fast. So you're seeing a lot of adoption there. Now, folks, a place where you can invest in Avax and other altcoins and Bitcoin is on iTrustCapital. So iTrustCapital allows you to invest in crypto as well as precious metals like gold and silver via an IRA. The reason why you want to invest via an IRA, you get tax benefits. So when you sell for a gain, you don't have to incur long-term or short-term capital gains taxes. You get to keep more of your money. Now, I know some of you already use exchanges. Well, you can have a dual strategy. That's what I'm doing. You park some of your capital in an IRA on iTrustCapital, and you leave that for the long term, and you can use the exchange, the regular exchanges, for your more in and out type of activity, or you can just go all in on the IRA. So you can buy and sell 24/7. It's low fees, no monthly fees, and you can buy gold and silver as well. And the gold and silver product is not paper gold and silver, it's the physical asset. So you can redeem it at any time. Also, if you have an existing IRA or 401k, you can roll it over to iTrustCapital's version. So this is a great product, guys. Again, taxes, right? Capital gains taxes are tough. Trust me, I know. I've cashed out some crypto, and then you got to keep a good chunk of the money and pay the IRS, which really sucks. But I digress. But they also have a great custody program called Premium Custody Account. So they use Coinbase Prime, Fidelity Digital Assets to custody the crypto assets. So you can sleep at night knowing your assets are safe. It's using tier 1 level institutional custody. Remember, Coinbase Prime is used by BlackRock, so you're getting that same level of custody. And it's 24/7. You can go in and out of it. It's a closed loop system. So if someone hacks into your account, they can't withdraw funds. It's only set up to withdraw to your bank account, and it's low fees. So I have an account with them, so you got to check them out, guys. Go learn about iTrustCapital. If you sign up with my link, you can get a $100 funding bonus. And also, I have a contact at iTrustCapital that you can talk to if you have questions. His name is Ryan. His contact information will be in the description. Go to itrustcapital.com/go/thinkingcrypto to learn more. Okay, moving ahead, Circle soars after securing U.S. Trust Bank approval in crypto expansion. So they're talking about Circle stock. Recently, Circle stock plummeted when there was the announcement of that consortium stablecoin, OpenUSD. But now the stock is pumping because they just got a federal banking license. And you're seeing these crypto firms becoming banks. It's amazing what's happening. So this is where the future of finance and the markets, it's all going to be meshed together, where it's not going to be crypto and stocks and different markets. It's just going to be one market, especially as all the traditional assets get tokenized on the blockchain and crypto companies become banks, and they not only offer crypto, they offer traditional assets like stocks, right? So we're seeing that happening, and this is really great. Competition's great, more options for the consumer and investors. And Circle, this is huge for them as the largest stablecoin company in the US. Now, Tether is the largest in the world, but in the US, Circle certainly has the market there. There are, of course, others like Ripple's RLUSD, PayPal's PYUSD as well. So again, they got the approval from the OCC to establish a national trust bank. And here's a quote. OCC approval to establish Circle National Trust marks a defining step in bringing blockchain technology and digital assets into the core of the U.S. financial system, Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire said in a Friday statement about the milestone. He said, federal oversight of our trust bank sets a new standard for transparency, governance, and scale for Circle's infrastructure. Incredible. And look, they're not the only one. Ripple, Kraken, many other companies are getting these licenses. So again, competition's heating up. And speaking of Kraken, they are preparing to launch agentic trading, allowing AI-powered agents to execute trades on users' behalf. So all platforms are going to do this. So don't be surprised. Coinbase, even Robinhood announced they're going to do that. So Robinhood said US users will be able to use AI agents to trade crypto. So this is where I'm going to explore these things and see what are the benefits. What can you do with the agents to help you be more profitable? Maybe not so much in trading with leverage, but swing trading. I often tell you guys that I swing trade, as they would say, buy the dip, sell the rip, right? So you buy local bottoms and then you sell local highs. Obviously, my larger portfolio is the macro. So buying the blood on the streets like now and then waiting 2-3 years to take profits, right? But I do swing trade in between and make some money that way. And, could the AI agents help with that? Sure. But we're going to have to give time. All this is all new, and I'll test these things out. And of course, would love to hear what you guys are doing. So, if you have already started using an AI agent to trade for you, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll try to bring people on from the exchanges and the platforms to talk about these things and how they will work and how you can leverage them. Because at the end of the day, we want to maximize our returns and our portfolio as much as possible to make as much money as we can, guys. And speaking of Robinhood, Arbitrum jumps 19%, benefiting from Robinhood's $568 million on-chain trading frenzy. So I reported to you guys the other day that Robinhood launched their own blockchain. And of course, it's built on Arbitrum, which is an Ethereum layer 2. So Arbitrum is benefiting from that. I personally don't hold a token. Not that I have anything against it. It's just, it's not possible to hold everything. But if you are, congrats if that token is doing well. And this is very good that you have a institution, a company like Robinhood of that caliber and size using blockchain tech, allowing you to build on the blockchain, launch meme coins. I'm not a fan of meme coins, but I'm also a fan of the free markets. If you want to use meme coins, that's up to you, but just know the risks, right? But Arbitrum, ARB's the token, is jumping and performing well because of this information. And I like that Robinhood is helping to bring another option to the market. We know Coinbase, they have Base, their Ethereum layer 2. So this is really good. And overall good for the ecosystem that you have these different platforms offering this. And what I would love to see, and I'm going to be interviewing the head of crypto at Robinhood later this week, that what other things are they going to offer to users to be competitive? Are they going to give maybe cut of the fees, maybe some special perks? These are things that I'm going to ask Robinhood's head of crypto, and we'll learn more about it. So guys, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't as yet. Let me know what you guys think about the Clarity Act situation and the headwinds we may be facing with these Democrats, and the whole meme coin ethics issue and all that. Leave your comments below. Be sure to support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. Link will be in the description. I'll be putting out a write-up tomorrow. Grab a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to about crypto. Use the code BEAR, BEAR, at checkout to get 50% off the price of the course. So huge discount. That's not going to last for long. As soon as the market starts turning, that discount goes away. So if you want to take advantage of it now, you could certainly do that. So go to mycryptocourse.com. All the links will be in the description. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.